Okay, like, how was you feeling, bro? Feeling like the fool, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? Mr. Fantastic, cause the money like elastic. Every treasure go, you smoking oregano, I'm smoking on the cat piss. I'ma be real, you know, when I'm with my dick, girl, she said too big, I don't map this. How was you feeling, bro? Feeling like the fool, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? Mr. Fantastic, cause the money like elastic. Every treasure go, you smoking oregano, I'm smoking on the cat piss. I'ma be real, you know, when I'm with my dick, girl, she said too big, I don't map this. Water that pussy like that, this. Two my mouth, I'll say that at this. Her pussy hungry and starving, so I think when I use it, them cat dip. Every game on faster than fast, so be real, all these niggas I might overlap. Never mind, I know my cap. Just like a taser, I zap them shot. I fuck a bitch in the dark. My diamond shot in the dark. Then I smell like a fart. I'ma go drill like a court. You police, so call you Paul. Blood. Drop it, you never get fucked like that. Formerly rock on my block. Okay, post Malone. That pistol, I see you as the issue. I know that you want his tissue, so you giggle like tickle. Your bitch seeking me like missile. He sends you on my pickle. You know that I do no fiddle, but I ride right like a fool. How was you feeling, bro? Feeling like the fool, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? Mr. Fantastic, cause the money like elastic. Every treasure go, you smoking oregano, I'm smoking on the cat piss. I'ma be real, you know, when I'm with my dick, girl, she said too big, I don't map this. How was you feeling, bro? Feeling like the fool, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? Mr. Fantastic, cause the money like elastic. Every treasure go, you smoking oregano, I'm smoking on the cat piss. I'ma be real, you know, when I'm with my dick, girl, she said too big, I don't map this.
Every time I see you, it's like the first time I meet you. Fragrance like a flower, subtle and sweet too. Seductive and whatever, it might as well be see-through. Like my genie in a bottle. Bitch can get me rich, look like a magazine model. Before you know it, he have her on a stroll. Fresh and ripe, complexion like Acapulco gold. If I had to guess just right, not a day old. Like a cradle robber, copter off Shabba trailer load. Know the right number, you could get her and hit it while you with her.
Because of the coffee. I had to drink coffee. I'm usually a night streamer, so these afternoon hours are a little,
Don't worry, type to make a nigga hallucinate and admit it. Then she started losing weight, letting everybody hit it. Unlike Allie, sometimes she get bitter. Always kept me happy, never had a problem with her.
I'm gonna be somebody else.
I had to have some coffee.
Coffee does sound good. Also, chat, we're only 4 Madrina's orders away from getting Spike to do pot.
If I never met Evie, she make me feel all fuzzy inside. It's loco. You won't get nowhere nearer if you're broke though. Kept a shorty mad, finding much thinner. If caught, I get mad time just for touching her. Knock wood, so much for Hyman's. So fly, she should be in the sky with diamonds. Little young thing, she like to do the tongue thing. At times, she would play hard to get, fronting or something. She made me feel like the #1 king. Run into her now, and we still catch a fun fling. Met her out in Central Park, that's one sign. Had the guard mentally spark, reflecting sunshine. She said you need to stop messing with that white girl. She fucking with your head and got your heart in a tight curl. We messed around once or twice, but she don't know me. She helped me get money at the Dunce Price OT. Plus she from Colombia, so she really Spanish. Cookie known to make a cat bank account vanish. And Miss Hazy, older woman, mature black. Every time she sees me, I end up getting told back. All she want me to do is blaze it crazy. The only one complaint is that she make me too lazy. Sugar mommy lace me with the butter navy AB. Just her way to make up for the headaches that she gave me. It's all gravy when I'm done getting my Mac on. Allie is always there to help me get back on.
got me going crazy. I'm telling we brought the section. They keep on calling up, it's getting hectic. Like we projected, so we get the plug. It's in injected, got me going crazy. Rolling, got me started. Sipping on pussy like the Barbie. Whatever I got, it got me going crazy. Suckers, girl, got me going crazy.
Me as Kanye West, I gotta fuck shit up.
Let the champagne splash, let that man get cash, let that man get past. He don't even stop to get gas. If he could move through the rumors, he could drive off of fumes, cuz how he move in a room full of no's, how he stay faithful in a room full of hoes. Must be the pharaohs, he in tune with his soul. So when he buried in a tomb full of gold, treasure, what's your pleasure? Life is depending how you dress her. So if the devil wear Prada, Adam, Eve wear Nada, I'm in between but way more pressure, with way less effort. Cause when you try hard, that's when you die hard. Your homies looking like why God when they reminisce over you, my God.
I'm trying to give back. I want Q-Tip to hear my shit and be like, so I can listen to this album every day. I want to give back to when I used to listen to Mobb Deep's album on the train with my headphones on, and that's what made the train ride feel like I was in the Benz, because I just had that album. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what car I was in. It didn't matter if I was walking the street. It didn't matter if I was in the rain or what happened, because I had the headphones on. I had that hip-hop in my ears.
Let up the suicide doors. This is my life, homie. You decide yours. I know that Jesus died for us, but I couldn't tell you who the side was. So I parallel double park that motherfucker sideways. Old folks talking about back in my day, but homie, this is my day. Class started 2 hours ago. Oh, am I late? No, I already graduated, and you could live through anything if magic made it. They say I talk with so much emphasis. Ooh, they so sensitive. Don't ever fix your lips like collagen to say something where you gon' end up apologizing. Let me know if it's a problem then. Alright, man, holla then.
For me, it's Kanye West. I gotta fuck shit up.
I may be screwy, but this sounds like Rico.
Follow me, tell me if you feel me. I think niggas is trying to kill me. Picturing pistols, spitting hollow points till they drill me. Keeping it real, and even if I do conceal my criminal thoughts, preoccupied with keeping still, see niggas is false. Sitting in court, turn snitches, they used to be real, but now they petrified bitches. I'm trying to be strong. They sending armies out to bomb me, listen to Ron, the only DJ that can calm me, constantly armed. My firepower keep me warm, I'm trapped in the storm, and fuck the world till I'm gone. Bitches be warned, word is born, you'll get torn. I'm busting on Giuliani, rubbing my my niggas wrong. And in this song, before I leave, picture me, I'm spitting that pump. Bitches and hustling to be free. Watch me set it. Niggas don't want it, you can get it. Bet it. Make these jealous niggas mad, I said it. This thug life, nigga, we don't cater to you hoes. Fuck with me, have 100 motherfuckers at your door with 4 foes. Yeah, nigga. Thug life, thug life.
Know some young niggas like to swing. Hit bang, take a little bang. Every day spilling no drain. She want the whole crew, shorty break. When the money talks, what is there to say? Blow away, watch it blow away. When I die, can't take it to the grave. Hop out, drop top, fuck y'all, tell it I need it right now. Cash in the area, what goes up, gotta come down. Can't do anything change. Coasting, gripping grain. Going through the money like a face. Don't say my name in vain. I'm so glad that you came. All these bad bitches getting slain. Broke ass nigga get a clue. All these niggas know how we do. Let's go. Know some young niggas like to sweat. Know some young niggas like to sweat. Hit bang, take a little bang. Every day spilling no drain. She want the whole crew, shorty break. When the money talks, what is there to say? Blow away, watch it blow away. When I die, can't take it to the grave.
Hey everybody, hope you guys can hear me. I want to welcome you guys to our second Avian AMA. Hope you're all having a great Sunday, from whatever part of the world you guys are in. We have our team here, we got 6 people, and on the AMA, I'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown on how many people we have on the stream right now. We have 26 people on Discord, we have around 20 people on Twitch. Stream on YouTube is still updating data. That should be up in a couple minutes. We have a couple of you in chat. Gonna get in there, say hey to all of you. All right. As we start the AMA, you guys can let me know on the stream if y'all can hear me. The mic is all good. The music's good. I'm gonna start off talking about two things. The first thing I wanted to talk about is give everyone an update on the marketing. For all of you that don't know, I'm kind of the lead on marketing right now, specifically working on branding and a lot of the social media content that you see in terms of the visuals that go with the content and all the content writing too. In terms of marketing, towards the end of the stream, we're going to talk a little bit about the fundraising and give you all an update on how much we've raised on all the chains and PayPal, including PayPal, and then we can kind of total that up on screen live and see how much we raised in about 5 days, I think, 5 days to a week. But before we get to any of that and any of the development updates, I want to give you guys some of the marketing updates. In terms of marketing, we'd use some of the funds that we did raise. We'll talk about the specifics towards the end of the stream when we talk about donations. We have already begun the migration of our website. We were previously using WordPress and are currently moving over to Editor X by Wix. If you guys look it up, you will definitely find a lot of information about the website and the tools that they'll offer. In terms of the cost of moving and how much of what we raised was used for this, we'll kind of talk about that. But in terms of cost, it wasn't much. The entire migration cost around $170. We were able to get it at a discount because we're kind of getting it from a different region, so it kind of allows us to get it at a more affordable price. And so we're able to kind of extend how far we use our kind of fundraising money. Yeah, and that should take a couple more days. We're currently waiting for the funds to settle in their accounts from PayPal, and once that's done, we can kind of start on the website. If you guys have seen our website, our current website, that is avn.network. That was the first website we built around September of 2021. There hasn't been any significant changes in the way that it looks or the way that the information is structured. It's pretty much the same, but the information has been updated, and some new pages were added here and there, and some new sections. But in terms of website migration, hopefully within this following week, we have those funds settling in, and then we can kind of upgrade to the premium plan, migrate our domain, and kind of start building on Editor X and use all the tools that they have to offer. In terms of why we're moving over to Editor X, we have used WordPress. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of WordPress or have used of WordPress. It's a very affordable and accessible option. It also is great for developers when we want to do any kind of advanced kind of code. They can kind of go in and do what they need to do in terms of security and functionality. For Editor X, there is higher cost. Like I said, the 170, we weren't spending nearly that much on WordPress, but the tools that Editor X has in terms of collaboration, in terms of content writing for blogs, repurposing content for social media in terms of Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms. It'll allow us to be able to collaborate across multiple different teams in terms of the development team, the social media, and the moderation team. Right now, the teams, especially the marketing team, is quite small, and so it's a lot of the work is concentrated between 2 to 3 people. So you'll often see me doing the social media work or someone else working around the partnerships. Hopefully, as we kind of start to hire more people, we can start to kind of all work within this one platform. It's because they have a lot of tools which allow kind of extra programming, HTML code. Hopefully that will come to use in the future. The website building process kind of is a responsive like web building process. So hopefully the future website will look good on a tablet, on a mobile device, and on the desktop. go on this kind of migration. Some other tools they have is like blog writing and collaboration, content writing, and collaboration. They have other tools for marketing and SEO. They have a tool called Ascend, which we do plan on using. Um, and that will kind of give us our marketing team good place to collaborate to kind of build an email list and kind of market our content and the vision through our blogs. And then we can hopefully push that in other platforms, like LinkedIn, which we do have now. Hopefully, I put that link up for you on Discord soon. But yeah, the website migration is in progress. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, we'll be going through. And in terms of what will be on that website in the beginning, um, an entire website migration with the roadmap and all the different pages, team pages, contact, and all that information will take a lot longer, possibly 2 months in time to 3 months in time to complete the entire website. That's from strategy to the interface design to the final build. Um, so instead of waiting that long, I think what I'm deciding to do is launch it in kind of like 2 to 3 phases. In the first phase, we'll kind of have like the website won't be blank, but it will have a lot of our branding elements, but way simpler. The background will just be our branded gradient with the white paper, and we'll essentially just have 3 pages in the beginning: the white paper, the blog, and then the store, the merch store. So that kind of gives us an opportunity to start marketing with the blogs, gives us an opportunity to kind of start fundraising through merchandise and use Wix's kind of platform and payment services that they have integrated into their platform for safe payments, um, safe and quick payments. They also have integration with Printful, which makes it extremely easy for us to integrate all our kind of merch collections from WordPress onto Editor X as well. So that kind of gives us an option for marketing and it gets that boots off the ground. It gives us the option for fundraising and then also the white paper, which kind of gives you kind of the vision. And I think currently at the current point, the website doesn't necessarily give the exact vision that the project is trying to achieve. The white paper is the only piece of document or writing that does that. And so there's no point in pushing other content that is not related to the vision, at least at the moment. So it's best to kind of migrate, clean up, and have those 3 things structured, and then slowly update the website from the roadmap and other elements and other sections, and add them week by week as we kind of finish them. So we don't kind of hold off the entire process for the development of the website, and we also kind of give the team a way, and the team and community a way to kind of start sharing content, start helping us fundraise. That's pretty much all for the updates on the marketing. Uh,
Tsunami, just sorry to interrupt here, but on the Twitch stream, can you increase your volume and also turn off the music? They're finding it hard for you to hear you.
yeah, this should be better. Let me see. All right, how far was this? This was at 16, so about 5 minutes ago. Is the audio a little better right now? Just give me a thumbs up in chat. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna rewind back 5 minutes. So let me see. Where do we start again? I'll just give you guys a kind of closing, I guess, on what I was just speaking about. The closing kind of updates we have for marketing is one, we've kind of started fundraising. We've raised some funds, and some of those funds we've used and kind of moved them into one of our teammates' accounts to kind of start purchasing our Editor X subscription, which is going to cost us around $170. And that's a 1 year subscription. And if you guys want to look up exactly what that plan includes, you can just look up Editor X. What is that called? I can share the link with you in chat. Editor X Booster Business Plan. and that's the one that we're going to go with. It's one of the highest plans. It gives us priority customer service and a lot of benefits. Gives us ad vouchers and some gives us a lot of storage on the website too, a lot of media storage that we can expand over the year. And then what I was also saying is in terms of developing the website, we can expect anywhere from 2 to 3 months from the concept and strategy to the user interface design and the final kind of build and launch of the website. But I don't didn't doesn't sound well. It's not a good idea to hold off the website for that long while we have our previous website on open, because on that current website which we have right now, if you go onto avn.network, uh, that's the current website we built around September, and we haven't changed much to the design or layout or but much of the layout or anything. We've added some sections here and there, and we've updated the information, but that's pretty much all the changes we've made to the website. On the back end, we have been working on a lot. We've been trying to get our blog up and running. So one of the bigger changes is one of our teammates is currently been directly assigned to just brainstorm ideas and kind of write up content for blogs. And so over the next 3 weeks, we're going to be working on some of these blogs. If you saw the update on Discord, you might have seen that I said we currently start working, and there's approximately like 3 weeks. I'm expecting to kind of work up like 4 to 5 blogs, like a backlog that gives us a head start so we don't miss out on content. Um, that's one of the updates. The blog is being worked on. Second one was that we are migrating the website. We have started on that as well. Um, as for the website, I did. If you weren't able to hear me, I'll just go over this again. Um, I'm thinking initially, the new website that we do build is just going to have 3 pages. The first one, the home page, which is just going to be the white paper page. It's going to have the white paper. The second one is going to have a store, and the third one's going to be the blog. And I think those 3 pages like can go up right away, possibly within the next couple of weeks, and we don't have to wait 3 weeks, 3 months for them. Once we get the blog content coming out, we can that gives us a kind of a start on content marketing, and can get that onto other platforms, including LinkedIn, and reach out to other projects for collaboration, or just use it as a way to kind of grow a community. In terms of store, we have been working on like merch designs and kind of working on a collection, and so I'm very excited to kind of get that up and running. We did try getting it up and running on our WordPress website, but this being transparent, our team isn't the most or like fully experienced in terms of using WordPress, and so there were some problems when I was trying to launch up the store. So we decided, since the fundraising has already begun and is going pretty well, we're going to kind of push the migration onto Editor X and hopefully get the store up and running with the blog. And as for if you're wondering why the first page is going to be just the white paper, I think at the current state of the project, the white paper is one of the only pieces of kind of written content that gives the exact precise kind of vision of what we're trying to do at Avian. And when someone goes to our website, rather than them going into an experience that wasn't completely designed to kind of give them an understanding of the project, I would rather just have the white paper in front of them where they can get the most up to date information about the project. And instead of holding off the final launch for the website for 3 months, we can kind of update these sections starting with what's most important, uh, which is most likely going to be the roadmap, and then the mining section, some other sections. So we can not only give these sections a better look and experience in terms of usability, uh, we can take advantage of some of Editor X's kind of design tools in terms of like responsive design. So the website looks better on the mobile device or tablet or even on a smart TV. Um, so that's kind of where we are with marketing and updating my website with the blogs, the merchandising. And towards the end of the meeting, we will touch on where we are with fundraising, how much we'll actually go over how much we've raised on all the chains, and we'll also go over PayPal. And I think it'd be fun to kind of tally that up and see how much we've raised so far. yeah, that's pretty much all. If you guys have any questions about that, throw them in chat. I can take them. But for now, I think I'll pass around to the teammate, right? 1 minute, easily.
Right, yeah, so moving on with the technical questions that we've had in the past week across our platforms. And again, as Tsunami just said, if you've got any questions that aren't currently listed anywhere, please fire them and we'll get to them towards the end of the session. So one of the questions we've received is, will the Avian Explorer get updated with more detailed information about wallets and transactions? And also have a layout like other scanners like the Binance Smart Chain or Poly. So at present, our current block explorer that we've got is based around the Avian blockchain. It doesn't show any wrapped Avian or any other kind of wrapped coins or transactions. However, we will be looking into potentially bring this alongside the current explorer, so potentially a separate wrapped explorer, or if we get the time to try and add it to the existing explorer. But just so you know, you can already check up the transactions on Polygon Scan. So obviously for the meantime, until we've got that functionality as something we've baked ourselves, please continue to use Polygon Scan. So one of the next ones isn't so technical. It's like, can you post the summary of an AMA to Reddit and other socials? So what we're doing already is recording our streams and publishing them to YouTube, so you can see some stuff there. But obviously taking on board community feedback, we're also going to try and do some summaries as well that we can push out to like Reddit, Discord, just so the community can just have a quick overview if you don't want to indulge in the full stream. Right, so next technical question. So are or could there be future plans in making Avian more energy efficient and perhaps promote using less energy when mining? So that's a great question. We are thinking about it. I mean, we're always thinking about the security in the future of the project, what we could do to improve things to keep it balanced and fair. So the main thing that we've got, if we made it more energy efficient at the moment, it would also make it less secure. And it also opens up the door to ASIC or FPGA abuse. As you know, we've already experienced that in the past with X16. So we're very keen to try and maintain security of the chain, of the proof of work function. But we're also open to new ideas. It is possible to create more energy efficient mining than we're currently doing for our GPU algo. But this is something that we're going to be looking at once we've got past the master 4.0 branch and all its sub-releases. So that's something for the future. But obviously any ideas that you guys have on how you could achieve that, or any algorithms you have, we're open to look into it for sure. Right, so will the addition of assets change or inflate block format and size on disk? So the new asset functionality sits beside the current blockchain in a separate directory on each user's machine that's running the core wallet. So in general, yes, as assets are created and issued, and depending on what they are or what kind of data and the size of the data, it is going to obviously increase the size of your data directory along with the blockchain. We don't expect it to be massive, but then again, it all depends on the functionality we release in the future and exactly what we're storing. So one of the next questions was, if so, will this cause a re-index to be necessary on the release of 4.0? Would the inflation of the size on disk, hence length and loading times? So I can confirm that re-indexing won't be necessary for the 4.0 release. We've already been actively testing, as mentioned in the last AMA, the 4.0 dev release, and we can confirm that we have working transactions now that are going through. We've got backwards compatibility with the old wallet.dat files. I think in the last AMA I may have mentioned that we were working on a bug. So we obviously just want to simplify the process and allow all of our users to simply upgrade without any problems. But with any wallet or software upgrade, we highly recommend you back up your wallet.dat files, and for extra security, export your private keys for each AVN address that you have funds in or that you intend to use. To just always take into account your normal security practices. So should loading optimization be addressed before we release to address this, as if so to not become too cumbersome? So as you're aware, I mean, a majority of blockchain projects use the same kind of blockchain loading technique, and they're all fairly slow. It all depends on the size of the blockchain and, of course, all the data inside, how many checkpoints there are, and a few other factors. So what we're looking into doing, and we would like to get this into a 4.0 branch. We're not sure which point release it's going to come out in, but we're looking at adopting something that Bitcoin does. As you know, it's got one of the largest chains, but you're able to open it in 1 minute to 2 minutes, depending on the performance of your machine you're running it on. So obviously, we always want to try and have any performance gains we can to speed up the process, and also to incentivize using a wallet which is quicker to load and use instead of taking a while, which it's starting to do as the chain expands. So yes, so we're looking into that. So it says, what version Raven code base is being used for 4.0, and has the reissue asset exploit been addressed? So obviously what we've been doing is slipstreaming in some of the latest commits to the master Raven repository and adding that into our Avian coin. We've done some of this because there are already backports from Bitcoin and some other improvements that you see across like the core code. So obviously we're making sure that any kind of patches that have been released so far are also being incorporated to not launch something that's going to be vulnerable. So the next question was, has this been audited and tested by the team thoroughly to be sure that the reissue asset mining exploit that occurred on the Ravencoin chain cannot happen to AVN? So we're still developing and testing asset functionality, and it won't necessarily be coming out with the 4.0 release. It may come out with a point release, maybe 0.4, 0.5, but that's not set in stone just yet, because we've got a few different moving parts. As you're aware, we're trying to add a pool picker in. We're trying to add wrapping functionality into our wallet as well. So obviously, as we discussed before, we're slowing down our development process, trying to roll in one feature at a time, give it internal dev testing, and then push it out for some public testing before, fixing any issues if anything comes up, and then going for the kind of full golden master release out to public for full use. So as mentioned in the last question as well, we don't want to be pushing out anything just for the sake of pushing out updates. We want to be releasing qualitative updates that are bug-free and just enable people to have peace of mind and use the system simply. So will the team release a provable diff addressing the above for viewing and auditing? So as mentioned beforehand, all of our code and commits are all pushed to GitHub, which is all open to the public. Anyone can go on there and they can check the history of which commits have been pushed. And obviously, if you set yourself up a GitHub account, you can compare our different branches and different releases to be able to see those changes. So we won't be publishing detailed code comparisons. However, when we push out our releases, we will be giving a summary of what we've changed, what we've added, or what we've removed, etc. So there will be a summary, and you can use that to dig down into. So in regards to Avian flight plans, Lua code being introduced for 4.0, what is being done to assure that there is no possibility of man-in-the-middle attacks for necessary RPC calls when wrapping and unwrapping? With the Lua code flight plans, users can only call wrapping and unwrapping after 200 chain confirmations, meaning that tokens will only be minted after the coins are sent and verified for 200 blocks. So again, it's just making sure that people using the latest wallet and the officially issued code are trying to do these, this wrapping process, and trying to do it as securely as they can. Again, there's always the potential for man-in-the-middle attacks whether it's infrastructure or software. So again, just if you think your PC is riddled with spyware or ransomware or something else, try and use bootable Linux distributions. Try and do something that's completely clean wherever you can, especially if you're moving large amounts of crypto around or doing wrapping. So also, as you know, this is going to be coming out in the core wallet, but to reduce the attack surface and create a safer or somewhat safer environment for wrapping, we're also planning on trying to offer this using the new web wallet and API that we're developing as another side thing to the core wallet code. So that will mean that all the RPC stuff is done securely on the back end of servers, and people will just be doing the front end website means to carry out that process. But obviously, it will be a website. So again, just make sure that either you use a trusted VPN, make sure the networks that you're on when you're carrying out these transactions are secure, try not to do it in public places. You know, all the normal stuff us crypto guys have to take into consideration when we're doing things like this. Next question. What validation mechanisms will be used to be sure that DNS and or ARP poisoning to a false Polygon RPC server cannot be used to exploit the process? So we're thinking about potentially adding in some secure certificates and other mechanisms to verify, you know, official servers requests. And also false Polygon RPC requests can't call the mint function, as the minter role is not defined and assigned to it. And each wallet will be connected and securely checked by the chain before minting. So obviously this stops people that have done some kind of offline mining or other kind of manipulation to try and get minted tokens or whatnot. Wrap tokens, I should say. So next question, what validation mechanisms will be used to be sure that a fault AVN chain could not be used to contact Polygon RPC? So it kind of goes with the answer I've just given, that obviously there's 200 confirmations that are needed. Our whole blockchain would have to be completely overrun, like a reorganization attack, by a lot of offline mining using high power. And also you'd have to have like a node attack hand in hand, so like majority nodes to overwhelm. So we don't believe this is a threat at the moment, but we're hoping as our network grows, as we get more miners, and we can secure proof of work function through decentralized hashing. And again, another time to shout out, try and spread your hash power. Obviously, we all want this to be profitable, but also to just help other pool owners that are out there and just balance the rewards out so everybody can get a slice of the pie would be great. It just helps secure our network as well, and incentivizes having those nodes used at pool level. So we've had another question. It's more of a community question. I think I can answer this one. So will there be an official translation of these videos for the community in Spanish? So recently, we just had a new team member come on. Hunter25 is his Discord handle. And he's going to be helping grow our Spanish community. So he's going to be starting off with socials and doing moderation. And hopefully this will start to grow our Spanish-speaking community and just basically a means to share new videos, to spur on content creation. So we're hoping as well, potentially using YouTube's translation functions, that over time we can make sure our audio quality is good enough that we can use automatic translation, etc. What will the new website look like? I think obviously Tsunami's just gone over this in detail. But as you just mentioned, we're moving to EditorX away from WordPress. So it's going to be a lot more team friendly across the board, and can you make suggestions for the content layout? So yeah, by all means, we're an open foundation. We literally rely on the community's feedback and ideas along with our own input. So we always take on board everything that we receive. And if it's a good idea, we'll nurture it and take it on board. So any kind of suggestions, please reach out to Tsunami and voice them with him, and you may see them included. So it says the white paper emphasizes the intention of ease of use for the average non-technical user. I have yet to find a crypto website which an average person could understand. Can we have your thoughts on this? So as just mentioned above, we will be redesigning our current website from scratch, and we'll be trying to make it as diverse as possible so it's nice and fluid for any level of understanding. As for ease of use on the white paper, that's particularly talking about the experience on the network and the Avian ecosystem. The entire process of onboarding, buying AVN, and in the future asset minting management and DAO functionality. We're just going to try and get more creative, like I said, with the website design, with the content that we put on there. So whether you're just getting into crypto or whether you're fairly advanced, hopefully you'll be able to find all the information you want. And again, give us feedback. If something's not clear, you can't find what you're looking for, let us know and we'll continually improve our offerings to you. Another technical question. When will the possibility of minting NFTs be implemented? So again, this is going to come along after we've got asset functionality released, which is going to come as a point release, as I mentioned earlier. So we intend to hopefully have a testnet launch of testing before actually launching on mainnet, as we're doing with all our smaller point releases. So again, watch this space. Once we've gone through all of that and we've got it working, everything's tested, confirmed, we've done vulnerability testing and stress testing, then we'll give you a kind of launch date as soon as we can. But like we said, we're erring on caution because we'd rather have something that is working and fully bug tested as best as it can be before being released out to the general public. So yeah, they will be coming. We're very excited about it. It's going to be a cool use case for Avian Network, and again, the asset system. There's a lot more usability to it, from like house deeds, contracts, all kinds of things. So yeah, keep your ideas coming in on any use cases, and we might be able to adapt or improve the asset system even further. So how many transactions will it be able to support in the beginning, and how do you think it'd be possible in the future? So as most of you guys know, I mean, it's all determined by blockchain parameters that we set. So essentially our proof of work system to verify new blocks and transactions. So at the moment, like, it's kind of set mathematically, so it always find or process the highest transactions in the memory pool first, so the most expensive one is the one with the most fees. And at the moment, like with Bitcoin, when it's at capacity, it's a very slow network. Things don't move very fast, and this is why you've now got the layer 2 networks like Lightning Network that people are using, kind of get around that bottleneck. So at the moment, Avian Network is still using that kind of layer 1 Bitcoin technology, but in the future, especially using other chains, wrapping the coins, it already breaks down some of those transaction limits. And also, there's the potential for us to leverage layer 2 networks in the future as well. So again, we're always up for increasing kind of transactions per second to have a competitive edge. With the Avian flight plans, we're actually kind of layer 2, or that will be kind of like a layer 2 element. So again, there's the potential for utilizing this. And again, this is something brand new that we're developing and rolling out. again, trying to differentiate ourselves from other competitors and other people that we're working with. So we're looking again at that kind of technology. There's a lot of interesting development going on at the moment simultaneously. So obviously we'll update you with more facts and figures once we get there. So one of the next questions we've had is, does this platform lend itself being used for the creation of NFT-based games? So again, another great question. Obviously the NFT space has massively exploded since its launch. And primarily, as you know, people are doing it for unique artwork and other unique digital assets and things. So the thing that we're thinking about is the footprint limits, like how to handle the big data side of things. You know, like with any kind of file types, with text being the smallest, like pictures being kind of medium size and videos high in data footprint, we need to think about compression, how to keep sizes down. And also, as we're using IPFS for the tokens, most of that storage goes into the user wallet itself as the owner. So some of this stuff isn't just going to be around in everyone's data or everyone's wallet files. So there is that potential. Again, we're open to ideas and how games developers could utilize our system, and we're very open to coding things into ease adoption and onboarding. So again, if you're a games developer or another kind of developer, you're interested in using our chain for your project, please get in touch and we can help work with you on that. So when can we expect the 4.0 wallet, and how is testing going with the new update, and will there be a public beta? So yes, good news. Like I said earlier, we've got transactions working on mainnet with the 4.0 dev release that we've got at the moment. It's working well. We started adding in the pool picker and wrapped Avian. However, you're not going to have working functionality of those two items in the first wallet. You're just going to see the graphical user interface changes where you will be able to access those when the next point releases come out. Yeah, in terms of when it's going to be coming out, I think because we've made a lot of headway just this past week, we'll be doing a public beta test, hopefully next week. But we're going to announce the exact dates and everything on Discord and our other social platforms. Again, just keep your eyes peeled. And the second we've got something out, we very much like you to test it. We've always found, despite dev testing in-house, the public are our best testers, they're our best sensors. Getting this out into the wild really helps us just means test everything and make sure everything is perfect for when you know, the rest of the crowd adopt it as their main version. But anyone that's game for helping us with that, again, please just take the necessary steps just to back up everything. We haven't experienced any issues with wallet corruption or anything else, but there's a lot of cool things like seed words coming in. Obviously, you can print paper wallets. It's just really cool. So we've taken on board again community feedback on what people have requested and asked for. So there we go. So regarding AMA NFTs, why are they on a sidechain with only support for Ethereum? Since Avian is utilizing Polygon for wrapped Avian, would it make sense to mint the AMA NFTs on Polygon? So first of all, the AMA NFTs are not on Ethereum. They're actually on Gnosis chain, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is the native chain for POAP. These NFTs can be migrated to Ethereum and Polygon, or even the Binance Smart Chain, and can be traded on OpenSea. So minting these on Polygon is no issue, but this won't give us verification from the POAP network, losing the value of those NFTs. So hopefully that explains why we're doing things that way. So we had quite a lot of technical questions, so got a few more. So do the Avian flight plans get distributed over the network? So reading the white paper, it only seems that the author of the flight plan can interact with the plan and needs to release a third-party tool to allow others to interact with the flight plan. So at present, as you've seen in some of Furious's posts, a third-party tool is required, but we are working to obviously make this process easier using the wallet directly, but more ideally, again, trying to leverage our new web wallet and API. So again, creating like a web service to facilitate this. So it's something that we're going to be improving, and I think what you've seen so far is just kind of like a means test, just to say, hey, this is an example of how you could do this or that. And like I've mentioned, flight plans is something that's still under development. We're going to be continuing to develop it and adding more documentation to again make it easier for other developers to latch into that new system we're building. So another question we've got: if you could do one thing different since the start of Ravencoin Lite, what would it be and why? So I think obviously we all would have liked to avoid ASICs coming onto the chain. That would have been good again to have X16RT and Minotaur X like launch from the get-go alongside, and also having the team that we have now and the structure that we have in place. Again, as Tsunami said, it's still something that we're improving, we're building upon. We're actively trying to recruit new members, different lingual speakers, to be able to help expand our reach in different regions and provide support and information in local languages. So, I mean, it's always easy in hindsight to say, oh, we should have, we could have, or whatever, but what we're doing, and the whole team's taking this on board, is we're learning from any mistakes, any kind of ruts that we've fallen into. We're always trying to think, how could we avoid this problem? If we think of something that's coming up, or someone in the community says, how about this, or this is an issue, we'll look into it and we'll always improve things. Again, our job is just to try and keep Avian Network alive, to keep the development and all the social outputs information moving every day, every week. So again, yeah, I'm glad we are where we are, but we've still got a long way to go. But we've got a great team, and that's only going to get better. So will it be possible in the future to use updated versions of mining software? So as some of you guys know, you're having to use older versions of some software just because the latest versions released don't support X16RT or Minotaur X. So we're hoping as more people adopt AVN and as other coins that are using these algorithms expand or get bigger, the developers that actually make the mining software will start to implement these algorithms and hopefully also try and improve them as well, so we can get a bit more bang for our buck. So yeah, so again, it's all down to the developers of the mining software. So again, if you love some mining software and X16RT or Minotaur X aren't included, please reach out to them. Maybe even go on GitHub and do a feature request. A pool picker update. What we've got here. ANL, do you want to handle this one? No? Okay, well, I've got some notes here anyway from when I discussed it with him. Currently it works by grabbing from a static API and then goes through the options of the pool, address, stratum, and later anyone that understands Python can go over the code for it and update it. So obviously we've got some Python skills in-house. So as ANL has already created this foundation for this, like he said, it's just literally pulling from an API. And again, if your pool's not listed in this API, you can request that it be added to the list. So please, if you're a pool operator, go on the Avian GitHub, go to the pool picker, and please submit any commits that you have for review, and we'll be sure to add them in for you. because we want this to be a fully rounded pool picker. Again, the objective of this is to help people be aware of other pools that are out there and hopefully decentralize and spread the hash rate around again. So in the future, we're looking to add the new API we keep bashing on about that Craig's working on. We'll be making a better graphical user interface, because at the moment what we've got is a very basic drop-down form system, but obviously we just want to give it some nice finish. We'll be adding an external dynamic API. We'll be fixing the code so it works a lot better, has better handling, and just standard development improvements, as well as adding ping support, because as you guys know, latency is key. So always try and find like servers that are closer to you, because otherwise you could be finding blocks, but they're going to get orphaned. So that's quite important. So the one of the last things that we've got
just on the pool picker.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to say one other thing that we'd like to look at some point. Again, is looking to see how we can actually reach out and see what the current hash rate on each of the pools are as well. Because again, our key here is to randomize the pool picker, but to randomize it where pools that maybe have low hash rate right now come up first in the picker, so that we're distributing out better where people are actually mining to and what pools. So that's something that, again, we'll be looking at to try and improve and sort of decentralize the mining to different pools.
Exactly, Craig. Yeah, I mean, obviously the pool picker kind of came about, like we said, for decentralization. The original idea was like hash balancing, but we thought, okay, let's get something out that at least shows the pools first of all, and does the reordering, and hopefully pulling on different pools APIs and data aggregators APIs, like Craig just said, we'll be able to prioritize pools that like have the lowest hash rates and have those at the top of the list. So hopefully that will help spread out hash rate and help people out a lot better. So that's something we're excited about, because it'd be nice to see Avian being mined on lots of different pools. Yeah, one of the last things that we've got, and I'm sure we've probably got some other questions that have come in on our other socials that the team will go through in a moment, that is the donation website. So Mr. Peer has been working on a website that we're going to be launching soon, hopefully in the next day or so, and it's going to enable people to be able to donate on the Polygon network with Matic, the Binance Smart Chain, the Avalanche chain, as well as the Genosis chain, and hopefully others in the future if there's something viable. So I think just recently as well, we've added Bitcoin, or will be adding Bitcoin, and PayPal. So as you know, we've already hit our targets for our EditorX stuff. So the development and all the onboarding of that stuff is underway, as Tsunami said. We'll also, I believe, be accepting Tron payments as well. So again, any kind of donations that we're getting are going straight into providing services back to the community. So all these kinds of things that you've been talking about, like with the website, with exchanges, which is important as well, and any kind of operational costs that we have there for the community's benefit. That's where everything's going. And thanks again to everybody that's donated so far, because we're really happy. We've already hit some targets, and again, the new website is going to be a great way for the public and community to be able to see exactly when we're hitting targets, like what we've got so far. So we're going to be trying to think about clever ways that we can potentially show you like how close we are to targets, as close to live as we can. But we've got some work to do to work on that. So I mean, those are a lot of the main questions that we've had come in on the technical side. I'll Craig, do you have anything else to add for technical before we hand back over to Tsunami?
No, I think really you went through everything there so far. Nothing really more to add than what you've already covered.
Cool. And again, yeah, just to summarize, so a lot of the features that we've been talking about, again, in the last AMA and on socials, they're all going to be coming out as point releases. So the first wallet that you're going to have come out, the 4.0, that's going to be the graphical user interface overhaul. It's going to have, obviously, the new seed phrases, better security, a lot of bug fixes, a lot of backports. So far in testing, it's working really well. Haven't encountered any issues. So yeah, very interested to get this out for public testing and get any feedback we can. So I know the technical bit's been quite long today. I've tried to talk fast to make it go quicker. So any questions at all, please let the team know and the relevant member will get back to you. But I'll hand back over to Tsunami now. Thank you.
All right, that was pretty good. There's not much more to say on this for me here, but I do want to keep my word here, and we're just gonna take a look at all the chains real quick. I have my the donation Binance wallet open right here. We have currently $127.71 in Binance donations. All these addresses are listed on our Discord in the announcements channel. So if you do want to click it, check them out for yourself. You can do that as well. We don't have any Genesis donations. We have $1.50 in Matic. Not much there. On Tron we got $68.99. And on PayPal we have let me see what we have on PayPal here. We have 320, 330, 40, 50. We have 350 on PayPal. And total current donations comes up to $548.20. Out of that, we have already sent out 170 for the Editor X and website migration. I think the total we'll be using towards kind of the website is around 300. So we have about an excess 240, 248, and so everything starting there is kind of raising for our exchange listings. That's pretty much all. If any of the team members have see any questions on the chat, we can take those questions. I'll on the chat right now. I'll see if there are any questions here. There's a question here that says we need more decentralization. I mean, dual algo is did you mean Mercedes of decentralization in my opinion? But there are currently only 2 pools that cache 99% of all blocks. I think we already spoke about pool picker, and I'm hoping some of the solutions that we thought of up there help solve some of that. There was another question here about, did we take this one? It says, one question here from time to time. The numbers on mining pool stats are not in line with difficulty and found blocks. There are only 2 pools, almost getting all blocks. Okay, guys. I don't see any other questions. If someone wants to take those specifically, but yep, that's pretty much all.
Yeah, I would say that the Explorer, if you want to check stats on, mining pool stats rely on the pools to get their information. So it's not, it's the APIs that mining pool stats is going out to get that information, and how they're capturing it may not always be accurate. So as much as mining pool stats tries to be as accurate as possible, they're not always going to be. So, I wouldn't always utilize that as my, to check on the hash rate on the network. And we're also, the Explorer, you can see that as well. So what the current hash rate is.
All right. Do we have any other questions? I'm on the Twitch chat. If you have any questions on
And the pool,
Discord.
I just want to say about the pool pick and the two pools that have the most hash rate right now. Again, the pool picker will help, but it still relies on people to pick other pools, right? So if you are mining to one of those pools that has the most hash right now, then I would urge you to try a different pool. Take one of the ones that doesn't have a lot of hash rate and start mining. You're going to find blocks, and if you're on a pool with less hash, when you do, you're going to get a bigger reward at that time. So you're still going to find blocked on those ones, and you're going to be rewarded with a higher amount. And to be honest, I think you typically will, you will break even anyway. You'll get the same amount on those smaller ones because you are getting a larger percentage of the block reward at that time.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. I mean, again, if everybody kind of spread out and balanced, I know it's quite hard to do because it sometimes needs a lot of strategic planning and people always moving, turning rigs on and off. But if people, for example, just balanced out everything, so say for example, like the 55 gigahash of 55.82 megahashes of Minotaur X that we currently have active on the network. So if that was split evenly over like the 15 pools that are known, each pool would likely have a similar kind of average for the blocks that they'd find. Again, if miners are all balanced out, everyone's getting more regular, more fair payouts. So it stops the centralization. It also stops the risk as well. If people are all mining on, say, one big pool, and that pool goes down or it gets hacked or it gets breached, there's a substantial amount of the network's coin at that particular point that could be vulnerable. I'm not saying that is the case, but again, spreading it out. And the same with X16RT. So I think we've got at the moment around about 80.75 gigahashes on the network. And again, I'm seeing loads more pools that support the X16RT algorithm. So I think we've got 22 versus 15 or 16 that I just mentioned running that algorithm. So check them out. Most of these pools have support channels. They've got different payment windows, different minimum payments amounts, different pool fees. So just explore, get in touch, join their socials, and give them a go. And if you give them a go for at least a few days or a week, just to get some good results. I know it's tempting sometimes to always just go with the pool that has the most hash rate, just to get more regular rewards, but then you've got everyone there all fighting for the same, for a slice of that block reward. And obviously the more miners on the same centralized pool, you're getting a lot with smaller outputs, but you are getting more regular outputs. But like Craig was saying, we just need to spread things out and improve the security of the network, and also help those other pool operators and pools that are running keep supporting Avian, because if they don't get any hash power, they might remove Avian from their pools. So it's very important to help support the Avian community across the board, regardless of where people sit.
We have another question here on Twitch. It says, do you have an exact figure for the first exchange, and which exchange exactly? We did speak about this in the last AMA, but if we have a list on that, we can pull that up in a second. Second one, they also asked, how exactly are you trying to achieve more liquidity to get listed? I mean, watch all the Shiba and ELAC clones on CMC. Why are you currently listed, and how do you want to get the marketing and be spiked instead of one of the 18,000 other projects on CMC? In terms of CMC listing, we have not sent in the application is ready. I think we still have not sent in the application because the volume. If that's the volume, you know, try to, um, so we do need to achieve more volume to get listed on CMC. And our plan on the way of achieving that is through an exchange listing. And I think we can take these two questions kind of hand in hand. I don't have the names of the exact exchanges or the exact figure, but I know they're precisely between 4,500 and around 5,500. And they include about usually between 2 to 3 pairs. Um, there's usually market making, so kind of to help with volumes, and hopefully that will help with the coin market cap listing. Uh, and in terms of can't be listed, it's not necessarily like that. We simply haven't sent in the application because we know about the requirements with CMC, and it's extremely likely that unless we have that volume, um, we're not going to get listed on CMC. Um, and a lot of these exchanges do have the market making attached to it. So a lot of the times when you see new coins listed on CoinMarketCap, if you're on the homepage, you see the trending and top gainers, and you have the kind of leaderboard on the top third of the CoinMarketCap like dashboard. A lot of these coins usually end up on that list because of that kind of extreme volume that they receive during that period of their listings on different exchanges. So we'll see how the exchange listings play out, and depending on what exchange we kind of partner up with, each of them have marketing usually included in the package, whether that's like a website front page banner or some kind of trading competition, or that, and those are usually a little bit more expensive, but they usually include some smaller marketing with like website banners, Twitter, Facebook posts, and Telegram posts and all that stuff. So in terms of marketing and them helping us pushing volume on the exchange, those two ways I'm hoping we are hoping kind of will push that volume and hopefully get us listed on CoinMarketCap.
Just had another technical question come in on Discord. So they're asking, will Avian be able to be stored on other wallets such as Zelcore? So this is a question we've actually had before, not in our AMAs. But something we're currently working on is getting Avian added to the Electrum wallet, so people don't have to download a full copy of the blockchain. So that would be something, is something that we're currently working on. We're also working on an in-house wallet, which will work on iOS and Android devices. And potentially, due to the framework, we might also be able to release another kind of desktop version of it. And we also have our existing web wallet, which we're going to be expanding along, again, with that API that you keep hearing about. So as with regards to Zelcore and other online wallets, it is something we're interested in. But at the moment, our core focus is mainly getting our core wallet up to speed with all these new functions and changes. So although I say that, the core wallet is being worked on, we are simultaneously to the side working on Electrum and our own Avian branded wallet. So again, once we've got past last of the version 4 branch point releases, then we'll start looking to expand outside of our kind of areas of development and trying to get added to other services.
There's same another question here. I mean, you're not growing with a good product if you don't get marketing done. In terms of marketing, like I said, there's three team members that are really pushing marketing. There's me, myself, which I'm currently doing a lot of the design portion of it, use the Avian brand, a lot of the content writing on Twitter, a lot of the AMA stuff. and we're going to start working on the website soon. We also have Mounto, who is working with all the partnerships and then finding us exchange listings, and his communication with all our analytics partners and all the other platforms that we're listed on. And right now we have Hackshoot, who is working on kind of ideating some of the blogs that we're going to work on. We do have applications open for marketing. Like we said, we always say this is on the white paper as well. This is like completely community-based project. The entire marketing team almost consists of 3 people. So if you are willing to expand that team and be a part of it, please feel free to send an application. I've received a couple, and we're always getting back to them. And there's multiple roles that you can apply for, from writing to design, or through strategy for content, or if you're bilingual or trilingual, and if you can offer translation and kind of community management in your language. There's a lot of areas that we can kind of use the community's help. Is it possible to get listed on more small exchanges? We don't necessarily get this really small exchange inquiries. We don't respond to them as much because they seem to be way more riskier. And so the best option is to kind of continue with the fundraising and have maybe like a budget between 3 to 6,000 and spend hopefully on the lower end of that. And that should hopefully get our volumes up, hopefully have some marketing included. And that'll also kind of help us collaborate with that community built up on that exchange and hopefully bring on more users as well. I think in terms of exchange listings and all the other benefits included with it, with like market making and other stuff, I think that seems to be like the most profitable or beneficial route to go, because it takes care of a lot of, it helps in a lot of different areas of the project. About the exact exchanges and exact prices, hope I'll relay that, and hopefully we can get that out to the community again in a couple days. All right, last calls for questions if anyone wants to put them up.
Also going to say, like with the recruitment drive we mentioned the last AMA, we're still scouting for C++ developers or people that are working with DeFi or DAOs or anything that's next generation crypto. Anyone that's got some skills, if you know anyone that's working on other projects that's bored or stagnant and wants something interesting to work on, we've certainly got a lot of work over here. So please get in touch and let us know.
A lot of our moderators are active on chat taking your questions, so that speeds a lot of this up. I don't see any other questions, so I think that brings the AMA to an end. And this will be recorded, and you'll hopefully be able to rewatch it on Twitch. The stream did not go through to YouTube for some reason this time, but hopefully, if it uploads onto Twitch, then we can download that and upload it onto YouTube for you all to watch on YouTube as well. So thank all of you all for tuning into the second AMA. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next one. Updates will always be on the Discord and all social platforms. Follow us on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Telegram, Reddit. Our link tree is on our Twitter bio that has everything, all our social platforms. And if you also go over to our website, that has links to everything you need in terms of mining and explorers and everything, all the information you need. We'll keep you updated on the progress for everything from development to website to fundraising on the Discord. I want to thank you all for coming. Hope you all have a great week ahead. Yeah. And I'll see y'all soon.